Okay, so today I'm going to help you guys using your spreadsheet, show you guys how to put in equations so you can create your spreadsheets much faster on your Classpads. So that way you can get through your questions faster during investigations. So looking at our first equation, if we're looking at our investigation and our first spreadsheet that we need to do, for example, the first part is Gemma's account and Holly's account, how they're going to change over the years. So we're going to need to set up our calculator to look like the spreadsheet, first of all. So we'll type in year for the first column, column A. And our column B is going to be Gemma's account. I'll put a G for Gemma. And column C is going to be Holly's account. I'll put an H for Holly. Okay, so instead of going through for 30 years and doing each equation by hand, I'll show you guys how to put in an equation that'll automatically fill once you give it a bit of reference. This is very similar to Excel, which could be very helpful for future classes and when you guys go into uni. All right, so for example, we'll do the first one's pretty simple. Starts with 0. Because they both get $1,000 when they're born. And then for each birthday afterwards, they get a certain amount deposited. All right, so first things first, we want all the years to go in. So we'll go to Edit. We'll go to Fill Range. In our formula, we have to start with an equal sign. It's very important so that way the calculator knows that it's an equation. So we'll go formula equals, and we could put, we want it to reference our year. So let's go keep it down. So we know that this first box behind fill range says A1, and that says year. The next one is A2, and that's 0. So we could go A2, we'll go back to keyboard, A2, referencing that cell. Oh, sorry. Oops. A2 referencing that cell plus 1. So that means, oh, and then we'll go, so it's starting in A3, and we want it to fill to A32. Okay? And then it's all filled in. So for example, what we did was we put in 0, because we knew it was going to start at 0, and then we said we wanted A3. For that equation, we put the equation in saying that we wanted A2 plus 1. So A2 is 0, plus 1 we get 1. Then the next cell down, A4, reads cell A3 plus 1. All right? And then we told it to finish by putting the semicolon in. When we put our equation in, we wanted to finish at cell A32. All right? Okay, so moving on. For Gemma's account, Gemma gets, let's see. All right, so Gemma gets $100 every year. So an equation for this could be $1,000 plus 100 times whatever year it is. So we'll put T for year. All right? T for year. That is definitely 1. So this is years. So we can use that equation by referencing our years that we've already put in. We can make it automatically fill as well. So once again, we go up to Edit. So we're starting in B3. That's our first year for Gemma. So we go Fill Range. All right, so our equation, start with our equal sign. 1,000 plus 100 multiplied by whatever year it is. So we're starting in B3, so we want it to be multiplied by A3. And we'll close our brackets, and then we want to fill this range all the way down to B32, because that's where we end. So we've got to use the colon for that. All right, so then we could press OK, see if it worked. Awesome, it did. So B3 cell, we wanted 1,000 plus 100 times A3. Our A3 was 1, so it was 100 times 1. So 100 plus 1,000, we get 1,100, and so forth. And that would have filled all the way down to $4,000 at 30 years. All right. See, getting much quicker. So now we go into Holly's account. Now this one's a little bit harder. Okay, so we're going to go in. I'm just going to go through and erase this. We got some room for it. So Holly's got a more complicated equation. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so Holly's equation, hers is being compounded annually. So using our compound annual formula, which is on the front page of your investigation, that looks like, let's see, it's going to be A equals P 1, oh, sorry guys, 1 plus our rate to the power of t, which is years. All right, so what do we already know? P is 1,000, that's our principal amount. 1 plus our rate, it's increasing by 5% every year. 5% per annum is compounded on each of our birthdays, so we could rewrite that as our decimal. So 1.05, okay, to the power of t. All right, so we could put that in directly. So we can go edit, fill range, and we get equals 1,000 multiplied by 1.05 to the power of our year, which in C3 would be our year reference is in A3. And we'll fill that to C32. Awesome. Okay, another way to do that section, because essentially what we're doing is each time we're multiplying by 1.05 one more time. So let's say if I went edit, undo. Okay, we'll try it again in a different way. So we're going to go edit, fill range, and this time we'll go the cell above. So we're in C3, so we want to say C2, which is where our $1,000 is, our principal amount, multiplied by 1.05. Oh, didn't do automatically fill. That's all right. Redo that. Okay, so we'll go equal 1,000. Oh, sorry, C2. The cell above multiplied by 1.05. And we're going to fill it to C32. Awesome. So that means each one fills from the one above, and they're each being multiplied by 1.05 again. So it's the exact same equation, you can just represent it differently.